So there are two reports released this week by OnDeck with Ocrolus. They do one report, and then Bluevine, they have a BOSS report, which is Business Owner Success Survey. So these reports basically ask business owners, their clients, or others about what they feel in regards to their business, their growth projections, revenue, how they're accessing capital, and a number of different things. So I'm going to get into those quickly. We cover them on our blog, but each quarter they come out with a new one. So let's take a look at those. Not going to be a long video. I haven't studied them at length. Definitely, this is one of those where review it and we'll talk about it, and then let me know what you feel, your comments and conclusions, and then you'll have access to the full report. I'll drop the links, below. So first, I want to make sure that you are aware. If you're on the website, you probably already have seen that we have a webinar that I'm hosting with ARF's Financials, Laura Clayton. She's the VP there that is going to talk with me about everything business lines of credit. So how they handle their products, who are their ideal merchants, how you can partner with them, and so forth. So join us if you haven't already registered Monday, March 3rd, 1 p.m. Okay. And then the other quick announcement or a reminder is that next week, Funders Forum, which is put on by the RBFC, Funders Forum Brokers Expo 2025, is at the Hard Rock from Tuesday, March 3rd till Thursday. The reception is the evening of Tuesday. So if you haven't already got your tickets, you can still register, but do it quickly because tickets are selling out fast. So here is the Bluevine methodology behind their report. Again, it's called the Bluevine's Business Owner Success Survey. They survey 1,200 respondents across the U.S. This one was done November 14th to the 27th, 2024. And the respondents are, all executives, company owners, founders, CEOs, presidents, etc. Annual revenue between 100K and 5 million. And then just to go to the OnDeck report. Okay, this is respondents of 454 small business owners. They have working capital loans from OnDeck across all regions. They generally have fewer than 30 employees and less than 10 mil in revenues. And this result is from Q4 2024. And they go into cash flow data and so forth. So let's just start here with the Ocrolus and OnDeck report. And you'll be able to get the full report here to download. You can see their previous reports. They do them each quarter. And here are their Q4 key findings. So let's just go in order here, but we'll get to what you really want to know about access to capital. Growth expectations. And this is kind of in line with the Bluevine one, which we'll kind of flip back and forth. But small businesses' growth expectations tick upwards, with 94% of small business owners anticipating significant or moderate growth in 2025. This reflects a 2% increase in overall optimism compared to their Q3 report. Not a huge, but still positive. Top challenges, inflation, as probably you can imagine if you're in tune with this industry and what's going on, and really the overall economy. Here they say inflation remains the top concern for 37% of respondents, followed by cash flow as the concern at 30%. Now, access to capital and cash flow management. So 76% of respondents bypassed applying to traditional bank loans, citing paperwork, mainly friction, right? Expecting to be turned down as reasons for choosing non-bank lenders first. This is an all-time high, okay, increasing from 62% in Q4 2023. So basically, year over year, it went up 14%. So what's that telling you? It's telling you that fintech lenders, non-bank lenders are solving some of the challenges that business owners have by reducing the friction, whether it be their technology, their platform, how they're accessing or originating, the deals, reaching them different places, and having better terms. I would say, not necessarily just interest rates, but factor rates and so forth. That would be realistic or be opportunistic for those business owners to accept. And then, number 4 here is looking at bank and versus non-bank loans. Fintech funding remains stable while bank funding is tightening, especially in non-metro areas. So that's kind of an interesting tidbit there. Okay, non-metro areas. So let's flip over to the Bluevine Boss report. And so this is the website's version, kind of the overall summary and analysis, but then you can download the full report on that page. So again, confidence in the future. SBOs, small business owners, right? Small business owners, they're confident for this year. Okay, sense of optimism says 80, almost 80%, right? Feel confident in their business for 2025. 65%, almost two-thirds, feel the new federal administration will be a positive for their business. And then scrolling down here, 48%, it's only half, right? So are forecasting revenue growth. So half and half, flip of a coin as far as expecting revenue growth. I don't know if that's necessarily a good number, but compared to only 13% expecting a decrease. So that's positive. Now over to inflation. Years of inflation volatility have forced SPOs to adjust their tactics to stay ahead. 81% of SPOs polled mention inflation as being difficult. So that's in comparison to, let's see what we had here. A challenge. So inflation remains a top concern for 37% of respondents, whereas here they're saying that years of inflation, 81% of polled mentioned inflation as being difficult. So not the same metric, but still talking about inflation. And the way they're doing that, right, to stay ahead of inflation is raising prices, of course, cutting expenses, and absorbing costs and lowering margins. So, if you want to kind of keep your customers happy, keep them coming back, maybe you absorb the costs on certain products and services within your business and lowering margins in others. Hiring, they're cautious. 55% of SBOs began 2025 with no change to their hiring plans. Maintaining expenses, 41% will cut spending. That's not going to be good for the economy, right? So I think that's kind of a number to watch as you see some of these GDP numbers coming in, forecasts, and unemployment, and so forth. So you got to look at those. 45% will keep spending the same as planned. 15% will increase spending. So that's not a good number. Only 15%. I don't have, I mean, I guess we could look up the previous quarters or previous reports numbers, but only 15% will increase spending. I have to look at year over year to really get a feel of that, but it seems low. Using capital to build smart in 2025. SPOs are approaching the new year with tact. 52%, more than half of the respondents who have accessed new capital are using it to grow. It's a good thing. Here's a stat that I really am surprised with. So this is from Bluevine, who Bluevine offers a line of credit. So it says 70% of SBO business credit applicants received the line of credit they applied for. That money is used for everything from working capital to R&D. They're saying 70% of applicants received the line of credit they applied for. I don't necessarily buy that. I would have to understand further if that's okay. So one, that's just their clients. Let's just go back down here. But even then, they're saying independent market research firm conducted a survey of 1,200 respondents across the U.S. Respondents come from da da da. Actually, it's not just their clients. So inform business owners. Yeah. So it's not even just their clients. So I would want, if Bluevine, if you're seeing this, more clarification as to this, because for everyone that I talk to, it's very hard to get approved for, in general, business lines of credit. Even if it was just Bluevine, that would be a high number. I would actually think it's much less than half. So, but that's just my thoughts on that, kind of in this moment of reviewing this report. And then 49% is nearly half of the respondents said they were still using personal credit cards for business uses, indicating there's still room for SPOs to optimize further. Not only for businesses to optimize further, but for business lenders, right? So commercial finance lenders, fintechs, non-bank lenders, whoever, small business owners. These are your kind of mom and pop, maybe one person operations to small, less than 10%. They're 10-person operations. Half of them are using personal credit cards to fund their businesses. So it tells you a lot right then and there that the market is going to continue to grow because people are still using their personal credit cards. How those niche lenders going to take up more of that space, right? If someone does have a personal credit card, well, you know, maybe, yeah, they've had that for a while, but how do business lenders come in and supply some sort of access to credit to fill some of that gap? It's not going to be all, right? It's never going to go to zero. They're always, business owners as they get started, they have those credit cards already, or they can apply and get, whatever, 500 bucks, 5,000 bucks on a personal credit card and not qualify for a business credit card or business credit, corporate credit. So still filling that gap. And then just to go back to the OnDeck and Ocrolus, which is really a good partnership in my mind because they do have reports where, again, I mentioned you can download the full report. Okay, so that's all I have for you for these reports, covering these pretty quickly. I didn't study them at length, but I think you should because I think there's actionable intelligence in there that you can take, put into action, teach your sales reps or teach your ISO reps or teach your underwriters to look out for certain things, or you may be pulling back on underwriting and funding certain industries because of certain reasons or increasing prices or whatever it may be. So take a look. Let me know what you think. Drop your comments. Love to hear them either on this post or in our forum. Okay. Until next time, see you.